Welcome back. We have what could be a big day at the Capitol, some rain totals from the other day, and a hockey team on the outs again. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Today could be a big day at the Alabama State Capitol as the House of Representatives expects to vote on two issues that have been looming for years on Goat Hill. First is the medical marijuana bill. Yesterday we mentioned that they went near about midnight Tuesday night with some Republicans filibustering a measure that would legalize, regulate, and tax medical marijuana for specific conditions and that it would not be smoked or vaped. Now, I said it was a group of Republicans that was blocking the bill on Tuesday. This legislation is sponsored by Republicans and largely has bipartisan support. AL.com's Mike Kaysen reports that the House has scheduled the bill to return to the floor first thing this morning, and its supporters like its chances. They include Madison Republican Mike Ball, the bill's sponsor in the House, as well as House Speaker Mac McCutcheon. A pretty common objection being made by opponents of the bill seems to be concerns over legalizing medical cannabis, leading to future legalized recreational marijuana. All right, now presuming the House gets through the medical marijuana issue today, lawmakers are then expected to turn to the three-bill gambling package. If that legislation gets passed, it means we, the voters, will decide at the polls whether we'll allow an Alabama lottery, 6 new casinos, and sports betting. You wouldn't have guessed it 2 decades ago, the last time we voted on a lottery, but this legislation might be tougher to pass than medical cannabis. Opponents either don't like gambling, period, because of the economic impact on some people, or they don't like the casino aspect, or they don't like the way it would shut down electronic bingo in some places while the state gets to decide who gets the casinos and who gets to run them. The Alabama Policy Institute complained about the lack of a competitive process. Even Donald Trump Jr. called it crony capitalism. Still, Governor Kay Ivey has voiced her support for at least passing the measures and putting the issue on the ballot. If 3/5 of the House vote for it, we'll get a crack at it in November 2022. The official rain totals from Tuesday's monsoon are in, reports AL.com's Lee Morgan, and there were some May 4th records broken. Among them were Birmingham with 3.59 inches, Huntsville with 3.25, Anniston 2.97, Tuscaloosa 2.75, and Muscle Shoals 1.98. Places in Mobile and Baldwin counties got around 4 to 6 inches of rain, but it was Shelby and southern Jefferson County that got absolutely pounded by rain and had flash flooding and area creeks overflowing. The highest official recording we saw was 7.95 inches in Vestavia Hills. You should have seen everybody trying to keep their Gucci's and Louboutins dry. I'm not picking on Vestavia. I'm showing off my fashion knowledge. Tony Lamas ain't cheap either, y'all. Also recording over 6 inches were Helena, Alabaster, Pelham, Calera, Sylacauga, Mountain Brook, and Hoover. I'm never going to get invited back to the country club now. The University of Alabama in Huntsville and ice hockey have had a very tenuous relationship, as one might expect with college ice hockey in the Deep South. Alabama college ice hockey is unique to UAH, and the Chargers have been both a novelty and a source of pride at the school. They've broken up twice before, most recently last year because of financial problems. Both times, fundraising campaigns have come to the rescue and brought UAH and hockey right back together. Last spring, supporters raised $750,000 to reunite the two. But now, AL.com's Paul Gaddis reports that the school announced this week the program had been suspended because it hasn't secured membership in a conference. And even if it gets an affiliation at this point, the school said it would be a year before the team would begin conference play, and the money situation would be too shaky to keep the program going while they wait on that. The former players that led last year's fundraising campaign even agreed at the time the Chargers would have to become affiliated by now, according to the school. But former player Sheldon Wolitsky vows to keep fighting for the program. He said if they can get into a conference, then they will make their fundraising model work and bring the sport back. Thank y'all so much for listening. You can check out what's going on at the Capitol at al.com/politics. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, as always, come on by and see us anytime you can on the World Wide Web at al.com.